Hello. Happy, happiest Thursday to all of us. We made it through. We made it through, you guys. Yeah. Well done. Well done. OMG, how's it going, you guys? Welcome to the Drama House Live. Today we talk. Tell me what you think of the headline of today's episode. Look at the title, baby. Let me know. Let me just say hi because you guys are the best. We've got Greg in the house. Hi. Matt, thank you for being here. How's it going? I see VM. Hi. Hello, friends. Cherry Bonbon. How's it going? And you guys, yes, please help me and give the best shout out to the best mod ever. Yes, Miss Veronica, she is here. Yes, she made it. She is here, and icon, legend moment, honey.
She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now.
Facts. Clock that tea, honey. Clock it. It's the real deal. If you're joining now, come to the live chat, honey, because that's the place. That's the place. And if every Thursday before our talks, if you want a little sneak peek of the topics, you gotta join the Discord. The Discord server, the Drama House, is the place to be. Let me just add the link. Pin that link, honey. And yes, if you want to play bingo with us during the Monday streams, fabulous idea. Everybody needs a bingo club, and you can join that too. There you go. And please join us. Join us today. It's free. Let's go. And you can ask our wonderful Discord members here in the live chat. They will tell you all about the bingo, the tea. The tea is always piping hot. And I have to say, like, I know from our Discord conversations about the EA app acting out, honey. What's going on with her? On Monday, I was mentioning that she seems to have gotten a rebrand and she's now corporate blue, honey. And then some of you guys were telling me that things were looking weird, like games that you own disappearing from your library. Like, what the heck is going on? So you guys inspired me, and I thought that it would be cool considering the terrible messy waters that The Sims 4 has been traveling through. I thought, let's go and see what our players saying, because apparently, I mean, the marketplace is bringing just bad luck. Somebody over there must have broken some mirrors, spilled, what do you spill? Salt? And like bad luck, bad ideas, honestly. It seems that because of the marketplace and the game update that came with it, people are kind of fed up. People are like, done, honey. They don't want to engage anymore because they're losing everything. All of those beautiful hours making those builds, dressing up those Sims, downloading all of that custom content, honey, when it used to be free. It's still free for PC, obviously. And by the way, console players, has the marketplace arrived for you? Mm, I don't think so.
Oh my God!
Let me know if you're here, console players. I mean, this is obviously you're welcome, but I've been seeing a lot of conversation around, the marketplace being kind of excused by console players who still think that this was about them. And honey, no, I'm sorry to break it, but no, this was about paywalling stuff. This was about them getting that bag. As simple as that. So happy. So happy I don't even have access to it anymore. Slay. VM, no, thank you for asking. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm tired for? The change of hour. Kills me all the time. Like, why is spring about rebirth, but at the same time, one is always tired? Also, like historically, I don't know, April and May have always been kind of messed up months for me. Like a lot of emotional stuff. So spring, please just let us, you know, wake up. Don't make us sleep. um oh yes. I bet autumn already feels so nice here. The other day I was thinking the other day I was thinking about doing a rewatch. I don't know. I think I saw like some post, some article doing a rewatch for the thousandth time of Gilmore Girls. Why is it so hard to say? You know what's the title of that show in Italian? It's a mom as a best friend, a mom as a friend, something like that, which it's so much easier to say than Gilmore Girls. Jeez. I thought maybe I want to do a rewatch of that, but that is it's such a like autumn winter type of show. So you should do a rewatch if that's the season, because it just matches perfectly. Elvis, hi, how's it going? Hope you're good. Okay, you guys, oh my god, I didn't even show you the agenda. I was here blabbing. We are going to be polling about your experience with the EA app, because I'm kind of curious. I know some of you have had issues. You're here to report your issues. Um, then the headline, of course, we're going to be looking at what's going on with Miss The Sims 4, because she's been breaking, or better, I mean, EA has been breaking everything. And finally, we will dish about The Sims for Marketplace. So, and a little survey that they did. Sorry, I thought this was small, so I just cut half of me. They apparently they did a marketplace feedback survey, and some of the people are like, already, honey. Mm-mm. They already want feedback, so I found it a good topic that we could dish about. Get ready. Again, if you want to see the agenda before the stream, come to the Discord server. The link is pinned everywhere. It's in the description of this live stream. You know, you can find it everywhere, honey. So if you're ready, let's launch the poll, because I'm curious. And as you join, the poll will stay up. So please come. I know you like to vote, so I know you will come and let us know. Let's poll, baby. Let's vote. Okay, so let me post this. Okay. Has your EA app been working fine? If you have something else about this, let us know just in the chat. Um, love the third option. I deleted it. Okay. I just thought the first like counting that went on was I deleted it 100%. Loved it. Thank you for that moment. Really good. Okay, so the poll is gonna stay there. If you have not checked, I personally have not even been there since everybody was having issues. I'm just like, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this new look, I gotta say. Um, it's just so corporate blue to me, honey. I don't want to click there. And I was generally kind of scared that by accessing, I would find my The Sims 3 not being there. Like, do you remember one time we were launching it and it just didn't have, it looked like I didn't have any expansion packs. Like, what a mess, honey. Insane. So, if you want to add more in your experience, come to the live chat, and we'll see by the end of the stream when we're done having our little let's dish moment. Then we will see the final results of your polls. I truly hope it's not been giving you issues because like that sucks. um, but including issues with loading of the content, I hope you're ready to snack on some. There's going to be the shade. The shade, she is expected. She's going to be present. Okay. Um, I hope you're ready for some The Sims 4 update on the situationship of the player base with the game that just continues to disappoint. I did a little edits selection and we will wrap it up in the Sims comment sections, which is like always the best place to be. That is giving absolutely the impression of people are pissed. They are upset. May not be everybody's experience, you know. I also read some comments of people saying, I just, I don't play with mods and custom content, and my game has always been fine, so I don't have any issues with that. Okay. But today we're here to talk about the people that are having the issues. So wishing good gaming, of course, to everybody, but it seems that The Sims 4 is kind of working against that idea. It's just happening. So let's go, you guys. Let's move to the headline. I'm excited. I'm excited to see your reactions to all the messiness. And also, I don't know if maybe some of these posts have been updated since I saved them, so we're gonna check for that too. Let's go, besties. Yellow. Okay. We are here to talk about the messiness of it appears to be of the messiness of The Sims 4 continuing to disappoint, like literally. At the beginning, I wanted to call the episode EA broke everything, which would have been still accurate. But I decided to go for something more specific because it is, in fact, more specific than that. So let me just get. Okay, I've saved some reports basically from the forum. The messy, yes. Um, and they all have, the title of the report when people submit it. This one is called "My Game Doesn't Work Anymore." So get ready. Actually, get ready for things to be working. That's what we're manifesting in this moment. Okay. So, are you gonna work, honey? Yes. Okay, fab. And can I also get the chat? Amazing. Nicole Elise, hi. Thank you for joining. How's it going? Just in time for our first EA Forum report of the day. I hope you're good. I hope you guys are sitting back and relaxing. So, my game doesn't work anymore, honey. This person is saying, and this report is on The Sims 4 specifically. I went on vacation at the beginning of March. We love a good story. I went on vacation at the beginning of March and my game was working perfectly. When I came back and decided to play again about a week ago, I installed a recommended update. She is the problem. Since then, like that's what's changed. Since then, I haven't been able to load my save anymore, even without any mods, because that is always the first doubt. But even without any mods, after repairing the game, and even when trying to recover my save, the issue is still there. Girl. And like, you're just back from vacation. Maybe this person is having vacation blues and they just wanted to like make a house in Sims. No. Whenever I try to load my game, it crashes and EA shows me a message saying that the game could not be launched due to an error on our end. Please try again later. Like, seriously? Okay, I need to have my shade button ready. Because, yes. What the heck is going on? Lady Calamity, hi. Yeah, just in time, honey. You're here just in time for the good stuff. So, this is happening. Game cannot be launched due to an error on our end, which is whatever, and try again later. Goodbye. They said, not my problem, honey. However, I did try again later, even several days later, and still the same problem. It just didn't go away, even if that's all they asked the person to do. Just try later. When I try to recover my save, the loading screen just keeps loading indefinitely. Honey, it's just like when the herbs during our Monday streams, when the herbs just freaks out. I'm very pissed and I don't understand how an update that is supposed to fix bugs can completely break my game and probably cause me to lose my save. Like, that is the $1 million question, honey. Why all of these updates are so problematic? It's just, it's the one question. Just Aji, hi, how's it going? Hello. Hope you're good. Okay, so the only reply that they got, but this is also super new. I was looking for stuff that was actually recent because the big blowout is not happening now. The big blowout is like a week old where people were losing everything. Sims in certain save files were losing their shoes, were losing their hair. We're going around butt naked because that custom content, she was gone. Bye. So that was the big like thing that happened. And when we dish later, so stay here, don't go anywhere. We dish at the end of the stream, so gotta be here. It's like untucked. After the headline, we dish. And we are gonna see comments referring to specifically that and the aftermath of that, because even the most, not like even the most careless fans that really just want to like launch and play the game and that's it, everything that happened with the marketplace and the aftermath of that, so the launch and how like icky that was, and then somehow the installed custom content disappearing, like even if one doesn't want to look at it that way, you know, it looks bad, and at the end of the day, the fact that it compromises people experiences so much, that's the problem, and that's why people are connecting the dots, in my opinion. So person went on vacation, came back, updated the game, and the game said no. The next one is about infinite loading after create a sim, which one loves. It's like, it's really something that when you're launching sims, it's perfect. It's great. Hi, I installed the game last week on a Mac, but whenever I try to start a sim with new game, right, because that's how it works, the game let me complete the create a sim, but then it goes into infinite loading. I don't have any custom content or mods. And we're also talking about a game that seems to be freshly installed. What I've already tried, uninstalling the game 3 times, adding my video card, play offline, update my Mac to Mac OS, whatever, lower the quality, the graphic quality in the setting, delete the saves and cache, repair the game, went to one of the highest mountains in the world, retrieved the tooth of a dragon. Like, what else does a person need to do? And this again was Miss The Sims 4, because I did find some issues in my sleuthing. I also found some issues about the Cozy bundle, the My Sims Cozy bundle. But I wanted us to focus on The Sims 4 because she has been roasted lately. And the fact that people are finding obstacles, either like booting up the game at all or doing anything inside of the game. Like, you don't want the game to be stuck loading after you created a sim. That's what you get for having a Mac, babes. Sorry to hear. Goodbye. Oh my god, I did not see this video, Lady Calamity by Simmer Erin, about creators putting their free content into the marketplace. Can they do that? No, putting what? Putting like reusing content? I'm curious. Did not know about that. I've been seeing like some new stuff about the whole marketplace, but then it also got like, ugh, tiring. It's just so stupid, the whole concept of it. But hey, for the 1st of April, they translated the whole The Sims section, I guess, of the app in Simlish. So they're casual like that, honey. um okay, next. I'm like, bam, bam, bam. My game is broken. Everything is gone. Drama. My game is broken. Everything is gone. Recently, my game is just broken. I build houses and create entire households. But when I try to load in, it shows an error and everything is gone. Even the stuff I uploaded in my gallery. Like, what? What do you mean? No matter how often I reinstall the game and try making new slots, nothing works. Everything is gone. Such a smooth experience. And of course, they want to know the platform and the error, because where they posted this was questions and issues for The Sims 4 gameplay. But it sounds like PC. Can put your creator stuff on any platforms for free, but I don't think they said anything about putting your free stuff on marketplace and profiting. Oh, that, yeah, and I never thought of it, because I remember even us reading that they could not do it one way, but they're like, we never said anything about the other way around, honey. Okay, this made me laugh, so this is a little bit less serious, but I had to include it. And it's again related to The Sims 4, clearly. So, this is on PC and it's called Endless Pizza Deliveries, which in so many other contexts would not have been a bad thing. But it's great. So after the last patch, I've encountered what I believe to be a bug. First, I thought it was just my pregnant sim having cravings, since it showed up as a moodlet where the fetus ordered pizza through intrauterine Wi-Fi. I concluded that this must be mod related, but now in a different save, the same is happening. I have only played for less than a sim day, and that sim is not pregnant and have not ordered pizza. What? Despite this, there are a lot of pizza deliveries and they are leaving them out in the foyer. Wait. So it's like all the different NPCs of the pizza person, and here are the pizzas being left there. You didn't show up to claim your pizza, so I charged you 0 and left it outside for the ants to enjoy. I've never even seen this message. I mean, I always get my pizza, but this is like, it's silly, but there's an update. Okay, so I tried a third save and it does not happen there. Tried both with mods and vanilla, so not sure what is going on. I'm not sure either, because this part is kind of like, seems to be what triggered it all. But is this possible? Can the unborn baby order pizza? What? I have not played Sims 4 in such a long time, but I don't know if it's mod related. It's still funny. And good luck with all of those pizza deliveries. But at least, okay, this person managed to kind of fix it by themselves, but in a different save. Yes, that's true. Greg is saying it seems like an innocent bug, but that would be very annoying having to clean up all those pizzas. Yes. Like they already have one, two, three, four. This guy's holding another one. No. Absolutely not. I mean, at least you can drag in Sims 4, and there's at least that. Now, more gameplay issues. Ah, yes, I remember this was then closed as incomplete report, but it said not allowing gameplay, which again, great to hear. Every time I go to play my save file, I click on the household to play, and it will just take me directly back to the Manage Worlds page. And this person is playing on Mac. Does not even load into the household. Is this person also playing on Mac? Yeah. So it seems... So this person on Mac gets stuck on... after create a sim. And this person is trying to go to the gameplay by clicking on an existing household and just going... This must be insanely annoying. It just takes me directly back to the Manage Wars page. Does not even load into the household. Please help. And this person was asked, are you using mods or custom content in your game? Please remove them and test without them. If you do, please pick a thread tag for that. Yes, of course. I mean, I understand that it's better when people are like, I am using mods or I already tried fixing it. But I don't know. I think that in this specific scenario, one person would try doing that as first, I would say. I'm seeing more on the marketplace things. Content made available elsewhere is not eligible for sale through the marketplace. Okay, but if they change the colors of their marketplace items for their Patreon, true. And I was also seeing like some cases where people were saying that a lot of the no, a lot, maybe it's not correct, but people found some of the items in the marketplace being basically like a literal and also badly implemented recolor of stuff that existed in the Sims 4 packs. I read a comment somewhere that was all about the fact that, considering that it seems clear that the Sims 4 is not going to get any more packs in the future, then the marketplace is really a good way to like continue to get this influx of content. But why do we need that? Like, infinite content doesn't mean good content. This idea, this unbalanced vision of like quality and quantity kills me. I don't get it. But in the meantime, it seems that Mac players are having not a good time with The Sims 4. Now I have a fun thread, which is about dine out, because I mean, one can always sit there and think, I wonder, especially when it's been a while since you played The Sims 4. It's been my wonder too, so many times. Like, have they fixed Dine Out? I don't think they did. Um, but let's see the thread, because one person is starting it and then people are adding more more in the comments. Okay, so Sims constantly get up from table to view decorations. If you have your Sim go to a restaurant to eat, they will constantly get up from the table to look at the decorations of the restaurant. They aren't judging the decor, they're viewing it. I mean, this is a very, very good description of the dine out experience. A person added, not only that, they will have their food served, grab it, and just walk away and eat it standing every single time now. Yes. One of the most disappointing gameplay experiences ever, which honestly, to so many of us, makes absolutely no sense at all, because we've all played in those The Sims 2 restaurants, and like, honestly, every time I've gone into that gameplay in The Sims 2, it's just so smooth, and so it makes no sense. But this is one of the things that would always happen. You're having them sit there, and then the food arrives, and yeah, they walk away and eat it standing. What kind of restaurant experience is, what kind of dining out is that? That's not a good experience. But then somebody else added, I raise you one. Put the aquarium that even came with the pack, and they will look at the fish, won't order, and leave with a bad review. The same bad review I will put on Steam to this game. I mean, correct. Yep. Give that review, honey. It's correct. And it has, yeah, 16 upvotes. But like, I found it funny not only because of people adding on it, which is great, but also because Dine Out came out, like, hold on. Dine Out. Just the release date. Damn it. Okay. June the 7th, 2016, honey. She is turning 10. 10. All of these years. And we're still at the phase where people are reporting, and when you write a post like this, I think it's because you're just like, yeah, that this is what they're gonna be doing all the time. Like, it didn't just happen once. This is going to be the standard behavior, because it is. And this works both if you're owning the restaurant, or if you just have your Sims go and dine the F out. Because I was in The Sims 4, I was never into the whole owning it of it. I liked building and like deciding, the menu and those things. But then the experience is just so bad, regardless of your household owning the restaurant in The Sims 4 or not, or just going as a customer. It's just bad all the time. And it seems to never get better since 2016, honey. A decade is crazy. I know. I'm just thinking about this in Sim's perspective because the other perspectives kind of scare me. So I'm just like, dine out, 10 years, she's still broken. And there's nothing that is going to be done, you know? This is obviously the proof that this is never going to get better for dine out, at least. Remember when they were all about the fake idea that they were going to do mm, a remaster of some packs? That was like random. I think they only did, what did they do? Spa Day and Spa Day. Did they do the camping one, or am I, no, maybe I'm not remembering correctly. Uh but yeah, and then they just killed the idea of game packs completely. It's just all the different roads that we've been witnessing them taking is just incredible. Incredible. So let us know if you've been playing Dine Out and how that has been going. Yes, Nicole Elise is saying, I think many broken DLCs will probably never get fixed, unfortunately. Correct. Yes. This is a good example of one of them. It's just, it is what it is. Outdoor Retreat. Yes. Was a waste of money completely. I agree. Um, I mean, it could have really been a game update, but to be honest. Uh, and I've used it sometimes. Like, I remember I had this save file, and that used to be the place where I used to send them to do like um like divorced parents vacation. So the kids were going, I don't know, with the dad to the cabin or whatever. But it's just so lacking. Like, I don't even remember. I can't tell you, apart from fishing and throwing, I don't know the name of that, but you throw those things on the tree. That's it. There's like this little object that has them playing, and that's it. What else do you get with that? But I mean, Spa Day was also kind of crazy. So many ridiculous instances to cover in the history of this video game. I don't know, honey. VM leaving us on 5%. Good night and sweet dreams. So I hope there won't be anything shocking. just coming up, so you can have a good rest. And thank you so much for joining, VM. Okay, so now, obviously, if you guys have been especially experiencing stuff with the EA, the EA app. Wow, they're always polling for surveys. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear about your experience using EA forums. Ner. But when I was sleuthing for most recent things that people were posting, I did find a lot that was related to the messiness of the past week. And so they are on top because they used these posts in order, to say that this had been fixed and addressed. Um, Failed to launch error, fully black screen when using custom content. I've updated my game, the hot fix on March the 18th, and my game still doesn't launch with custom content installed. I still get the message failed to launch game when custom content is installed. Yeah, exactly the same of this. the game could not be launched due to an error on our end. And this was followed by everybody's terrible crashing experiences. Right after the update, my Sims game will no longer launch. I've tried everything I can, removing mods, changing settings, and anything else people have suggested. No luck. I don't know what to do or if it's happening to anyone else. Yes, it was kind of happening to a lot of else. Definitely to anyone else too. Same, tried to launch the game several times today. It always ended up back in the EA launcher without any error message. I will try it without mods tomorrow to give it another try. Um, so this was basically the explosion of not being able to launch the game at all, or not being able to launch the custom content that people had installed, and in some cases complete freakouts of the different sections of the game, so people only accessing create a sim and then not being able to go any further, or again complete crash outs of the EA app, honey. So in the context of this all, because the context here is important. So, in the context of all this, I invite us to look at their latest, from 10 days ago, their latest post. Can you see it well? Okay, better. So 10 days ago, after they did all of that poo-poo, they said, Simmers, today's update resolves the launch issue affecting some custom content and mod users. Your custom, some, not the ones who purchased it on the marketplace, you know. Your custom content should now load and work as expected. Thanks for the quick reports and data you shared to help us resolve this. Babe, the reports were not quick because people are, you know, excited to come there and like help you resolve the issue. It's like literally people couldn't access for the 1,000th time, or maybe for the first time, which is even more disappointing. Like I can imagine for some people that maybe were not having that big of a deal of issues with the game, and then this happening to them. Because I think we always believe that there's the idea that, okay, this never happened to me, and so if it's hitting somebody else, they must be doing something wrong. But no, in this case, I really don't think it's what's been happening, because the combo of this and actually, let me see the full notes. Why not? No, okay, the audacity. I didn't read this, you guys. Okay, hold on. They are saying, we have a fix for the custom content and mod users out there that we're still encountering problems launching the game. You know, peanuts, like, and oh my god, hold on. I got a Mario invasion. Okay, we're good. I don't know if you saw him passing because I wasn't looking at what you are saying. If you did, take it as a sign of good luck. You know that he just comes in when he wants. All of your custom content should now load and work as expected. Thank you for your quick reporting and assistance in resolving this one. Yeah, flash news. People should not be giving you guys assistance in resolving these kind of issues out of all the issues. But listen to this. Fixed an issue where the game could crash on launch for 2% of players using specific types of custom content under certain circumstances. What? You gotta be kidding me. And I bet that people are not reading these notes at all. because I did not see this. So they had to specify that, honey, if this was happening to you, you were just the 2% of players, babe. The fact that they addressed this for you, you should be thankful. Resolved an issue that caused a main menu message to appear more frequently than intended. What? What do you mean a main menu message to appear more frequently? Is the message this one? Is this the message? Is this the sign? Is this the message that was appearing more frequently than they intended to? Girl, seriously. I am happy that they did not try selling this as, once again, their goodwill towards the community and making one of their blue background posts, because you know that we have some personal issues with those posts here at the Drama House. They are fake AF and they are corporate AF. So thank God they didn't put it there, reminding all the players that the issue of the game crashing on launch was for 2% of the players using these like very remotely used, and like nobody has this kind of a custom content and mods under certain circumstances. Which circumstances? I mean, who knows? They don't have to say. They just hope that it was fixed. So to announce this, they just posted it in a generic community post, which we love. And the people were not pleased, honey. You have a play testing team. Get it together. Do you all ever play test? All of the mandatory updates break everything every time. Y'all destroyed FIFA and destroyed Sims. What's left to do? Thanks, but we didn't ask for any of this in the first place. And this is something that I've commonly seen the community expressing in several comment sections post in a world post marketplace. Okay, it's always like, look, you introduced this game feature that nobody was asking for. You did it in a way that is looking very icky to many people. And on top of that, you broke the game in order to update it to get this feature in. And to the point of people, like, it's not, oh, some stuff of it broke, or I had some performance like issues. Like, some people were, no, you cannot come in. It's our fault. See you later. And one of these messages was like, I tried later, and it didn't work. Where was it? I think it was the first one. However, I did try later again, even several days later, and it's still the same problem. So yeah, people are like, we did not even want this. So custom content is always bad, an issue until you decide to sell it for profit, and an issue happening when you do, totally not suspicious at all. There you go. Like, the Sims team initially took a stand against, not against custom content, but against the fact that suddenly they realized that to them it was bad that there were creators that were, you know, paywalling stuff like custom content on their Patreon, on their platforms, whatever. And out of nowhere, after all of these freaking years of custom content, honey, they were like, wait, but maybe we're not cool with this, because the point of custom content is not the monetization of it, or whatever word salad they tried to do at the time. I really don't remember, but it was probably something along these lines. And today we're sitting here reading about the disappointment of people, not only in terms of the marketplace itself, but also what it seems to have done to people's save files and to people's game, regardless of their interaction or not with the marketplace. So let's just see things for what they are. We started from a place of suddenly they were against the paywalling of custom content, and we are today looking at them as they paywall custom content. And I think that this is so clear that people cannot just ignore it anymore. You know, they just want to get the bag out of that custom content. And now they're clearly interested in just getting the bag, period. Only fixing the launch issues, not the disappearing lots issue. What do you mean disappearing lots? No. The customers are just beta testers at this point. And I mean, any lies? No lies detected. I swear to God, this game has had 1 million game updates since its release in 2014. Yeah, insane. Emergency patches because y'all have never heard of thorough playtesting. It's just as simple as that. I think I read this one. I think it was fair. Let me see. I'm not going to participate in online hate, and I doubt this comment matters. But I strongly implore you to take accountability by continuing to provide free content and fixes instead of shifting the blame onto players by insinuating that due to the large number of reports, you were able to get this issue solved quickly. The reality is that you have the resources to address all the issues, big or small, honey. Say it. We just choose to allocate them into further ways to, sorry, you just choose to allocate them into further ways to exploit players for more money when you already have the most expensive game on the market with all the add-ons and features. True. I mean, yes, they did that little flash sale where they were like selling off the bundle with like majority of the packs or whatever, but that was still a price tag that is just redonkulous. Like it was from 1,000 to what, 300, or I mean, depending on the day, honey. We found out that there was a bit of confusion on those on that pricing, but they moved from 700 to 300 or whatever. That's an insane price tag. Even if the game is 12 years of age, it doesn't matter. Listen to the player base that has given you the platform you have while you still can. It's hard to watch a game. Clock that T. It's hard to watch a game we all love fall victim to lack of care, accountability, and greed like so many others. Do the right thing. Clock it. Yes, it is the reality, but this plea, although I get it, listen to the player base. Unfortunately, that's not part of the plan because I think that in their vision, and I mean, obviously, in my opinion, I have no idea, honey, but in their vision, what they see is a player base and a popularity of the IP that is always going to be growing and evolving. I'm sorry. We had a Mario accident again. Okay, we gotta have a sound bite for Mario's appearances. Come here. Now he's doing shit, so he's afraid to be caught. Okay, whatever. We need to have a soundbite for him. Uh, but yeah, like I was saying, I don't think listening to the player base is something that they're gonna be doing because players come and go. If the plan is over monetizing to the max, there'll be monetizing it to the max. It doesn't matter. I mean, the marketplace is kind of the proof of this. Lou7113, hi. How's it going? EA only cares about paywalling custom content if they make the money. Clock that tea, honey. Correct. Correct. Honestly, I'm not even opening the game until you guys get it together. And by you guys, I mean EA, not necessarily the Sims team. How do you ruin one of the oldest and most successful game franchises? At least sell Max's studio to a game developer that will actually do a good job with it. Correct. No lies detected over here, honey. Yes. And that is obviously the main feeling, right? From the community overall. They're like, just let it go. Keep doing what you're doing because we cannot stop you, clearly. Last of their concerns is what we think of their business mergers. Because since when is this public chatter, especially in the whimsical, magical community of Sims players? Like, EA is like, they don't care. It doesn't matter, even if they do, right? But so the best thing would be to get the Sims freed from EA and see where that road could take us as a community. But the thing is, I completely agree with this. But this is only, in my opinion, it's something that can only happen, and it's only going to happen when people truly put their minds and their work into stop the financial aid to EA. Okay, we first of all, what money, honey? Number one, in this economy, we are supporting the projects of Jared Kushner and his friends. No, but even removing all of that, because I feel that that is always a slippery slope. You know, people feel like they can get out of the boycott conversation super quickly by just saying that they don't care. And I mean, freedom of expression, baby. Say it if you mean it. I don't know. But even without that, which for me, it's not discountable, obviously, but for the sake of logic, even removing that from the conversation, honey, you would still have this. Like, this would still exist. Because it's not that in a world before, BJ, oh, not, no, I meant before Jared Kushner, but somehow it just went to in a world BJ. So in a world before Jared, this was already happening, and people were taking it. So now we're literally seeing how far they can push the line of the player base patience and the player base trust and the player base confidence in the IP. I was truly always hoping, even all the time that we spoke about the buyout and all these things, I was always hoping that we would never, I mean, so naive, but I never wanted to find ourselves as a community in the point, you know, in the audience witnessing as they literally just make it crumble down, but like piece by piece, crumb by crumb, and we just have to watch and hope and manifest, honey. That's all we get to do. And also, yes, vote with our wallets. Do not buy anything from them. Sealed. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Boycott this shit. Even if you don't want to get it to get into the politics of it or whatever the fuck that means. What is this? Any of this, honestly. Any of this. Because the worst thing, you guys, is that when we look at these reports, the truth is, all tea, all shade. The truth is, we can identify not necessarily with the problem that this person is having, but this feeling of, look, I am saturated. I am done with having to play fix-a-boo and try to figure out what you guys are going to be doing next to ruin it, to ruin this game that I paid. Let's not forget that I paid a license for and that I get to play. But obviously, you know, we're paying a license for it, so we get to play when they want to allow us to play it. And I think that the more we see bugs such as these ones that are really like game preventing, whether it's the 2% or not, it doesn't matter. But there's going to be nothing left for people to hold on to, I think. And that's what I mean with the crumbling down, with witnessing the whole thing go down, just like the tower card in the tarot. I was thinking, you guys, that maybe during the live streams on Thursdays when we ended, we should just like check on the future path for The Sims 4 with some like major arcanes from tarot cards. Just get like a quick answer and see if we can predict the future. Although I don't know if we actually need the tarot deck to do that. Maybe we could see where it's going, you know. Okay, let's read this comment about recovered but yet not 100% working game. So the game launches now. Thankfully, I have all my custom content and mods back. However, the game does the endless loading screen when saving. I wanted to be sure there weren't any bugs still, so I loaded a random lot, built a micro home, and when I tried to save it, it did the endless loading screen. I had to force quit, relaunch the game, play the household for a little bit with minor progress, and I wouldn't mind losing, save the game, and it did the endless loading screen again. I'm generally done with The Sims and uninstalling. Yes, like this is worse. This is worse than the bugs we were facing in the herbs. I know I was joking before, but actually, honey, it's kind of worse. Too late. I won't be touching The Sims 4 again until you all stop the bullsh. Can't even play. Oh my god. Why am I getting Sims stuff in my shorts? I stopped playing since the buyout was announced. Bye-bye, Sims. Right. You know, you gotta blame it on the algorithm sometimes, because why not showing the Drama House shorts, like the latest one that I uploaded, honey, which took a whole production. And it's just not spinning, but I don't know. Maybe I need to do my own tarot cards and see what the heck is going on between me and YouTube. But apparently the Sims shorts, they are spinning, honey. They're going. Rest in peace, Sims. And oh my god. Yes, honey. Lady Calamity, we're having a meta moment. Now I'm gonna read your comment, babe. If the comments here prove anything at all, is that even loyal players are fed up. Correct. I know we're small by comparison to global giants like EA, but we are the people that pay. Clock that tea, queen. Without us, there is no Sims. The Sims teams need to get honest with EA if they're going to save this franchise. Maxes need to be sold if there is any hope of still having a market for this game. As long as EA owns it, Simmers are not going to keep funding this shit show. Yes, honey, you got a like from me and a clap, baby. Yes, diva. Yes, lady, from lady to lady, baby. Speak it. Speak that truth. Mwah, chef kiss. Completely, completely. And this sentiment, and thank you, Lady Calamity, for echoing it in the Sims comment section. We so appreciate you. Um, but this sentiment does seem to be echoing, right? And I truly think that that was really a bad fall that they took by doing the whole marketplace thing. I'm sorry, but I just think that that might have been their fatal mistake, which is crazy because there have been so many things prior to this. Okay, Mario has like toured my entire setup. He's been sitting everywhere, and okay, I think now he's chilled. He might come back. I might get him here so he can say hi to you guys. Boo, tomato, tomato, or tomato, tomato, tomato. Slay. Nothing else to say but slay. Don't trust you guys. Not gonna lie, I don't even play anymore after they sold EA on top of all the other BS we deal with. Yeah. And maybe that's also the point, a lot of the things that have been happening recently, and let's take the BJ, let's take the BJ time, the before Jared time as the example, like starting from there, but even if we go a little bit before, to me personally, the crack was really the period between growing together. I think like growing together high school years and for rent, like for rent for me was the tipping point. I was like, I'm done. So I think that things have been going down, but there were always, a lot of people that just, as long as things were working out fine for them, they had more of the feeling of like, who cares, as long as I can play and I can pick whatever I'm playing, like, choosing my packs. You can also just play the base game. That's free. And it's so fun. Just play The Sims 4 freaking base game. Okay, I don't know how that is fun, but fine. You can just play that and whatever. But now piling things up, it's like it's creating some effect. And you can tell me, honey, well, but it's just the impression, from comment section. So like then what always matters at the end of the day is the results on those spreadsheets, we guess, right? Um, but still, in from my view of a fan that is also hoping for, a brighter tomorrow for this franchise that literally, you know, grew up with me and that clearly I love. But yes, hoping for that brighter future, that's true, but it just I completely agree with your comment, Lady Calamity. How do they think that they're going to continue moving forward when they just keep like fragmenting their player base like this? If this leads them eventually to selling the Sims franchise and having a renaissance for us, because god damn it, one thing, can we get one thing? Just one. Just one. Give us what we deserve, and then, we don't ask for anything else. But the journey is gonna be tough. And the truth is, going back to, you can just play The Sims 4, not pay anything, avoid all the pop-up advertisements, but some people don't have any problem with that. So you just play the base game, you spend no money, and that's a happy camper right there, right? But I've done the comparison between what you get in the Sims 3 base game and what you get in the Sims 4 base game. And trust and believe, I've played the Sims 3 no expansion packs for a very long time. And then wanting to get them in a chronological order, the first one I got was World Adventures, which does add stuff, but not necessarily to your classic vanilla type of gameplay. And I mean, I'm sorry, but even just the base game, The Sims 3 is that girl. Like, you do get to have some good hours, even just with the base game, even if that base game is not free. I don't know. Hi, Pink Diamond. How's it going? I'm going back to The Sims 2, The Sims 2, to The Sims 2 and 3, The Sims 4 with its paywalling custom content and breaking free custom content has made it officially the worst one. The base game is boring, borderline unplayable without mods and custom content. The Sims 4 base game has nothing. Yes. And also that's also something that a lot of people are saying, you know, custom content and mods at the end of the day, for too many players, are what is keeping the franchise alive. Not the sorry, this was not well phrased. It's what it's keeping The Sims 4 alive, honey. Let's leave the franchise out of it, because I agree. If you're playing one of the 2 and 3 legends, and you can also play The Sims 1, I just think it's really hard. It's really hard of a game. Play The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, you're never gonna look back. That is also the truth. That is also absolutely the truth. But the thing is, everybody has always known that as per today, 2026, people that are still very much enjoying. And it's true, there is a point where you start filling up your The Sims 4 with custom content and or mods, depending on what you're looking for in your gameplay. And then it kind of gets, you know, without them, you're losing so many aspects of the gameplay that get enhanced. And so the move of them putting their sticky little fingers all over something that used to be free and then disguising it in all the possible ways, because, you know, they could make a platform to, not in The Sims 4, in my opinion, like, leave her alone. But at this point, I also don't want EA to make like The Sims 5 or whatever, you know. So they were in a sticky situation, but they also put themselves in it. So whatever. But the marketplace has nothing to do with facilitating custom content usage, nor promoting creators of this custom content. It's disguised as that. And it also has nothing to do with supporting console players at all. No, this was all about creating another stream of profit. And also, I don't know, I just keep seeing this image of them looking ahead because they know that there is going to be a slice of that pie that is their player base, or at least, you know, the people that engage with the Sims brand, even on a bigger scale. They know that there are going to be some parts of us that are going to be automatically not there in the future. So it's kind of, I don't know, I just get this image constantly of all of these new things that they've been doing, including breaking the game, but not just that, you know, with the marketplace and also the rebranding of their of their influencers, right? I think that they're kind of getting less heat for that because the marketplace debacle was such a flop. But let's not forget that quietly, while we were there trying to figure out what the heck this marketplace is gonna do and it's gonna work and all of that, they did the little rebrand of the EA partner program, making it the Sims partner program, so that they give this impression that the influencers that are paid to promote the Sims 4 content or future Project Renee, who knows, the Project X, whatever, so that these people feel that they are in the Sims partner program or whatever. they just do these things, I feel, planting the seed for what's to come in the future, which I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you are watching right now, live or later, you're probably part of the pie that they're willing to sacrifice to build a different future for their games, a future that is made of monetization schemes, that is made of automations, that is made of profit, 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 because things are not going to be better for them financially as EA. They're going to be worse because we've repeated this like a fucking mantra, honey. But once this is officially finalized, the company will be strapped with an insane debt on its shoulders, which means that the only thing they're gonna be able to work out is going to be new methods to spill money, which, in my opinion, is going to look like Project Renee, the ghost of Renee that might become something else. Now, it doesn't matter, we don't know. But I think they're obsessed with the mobile multiplayer shit. So they're gonna probably go down that road and they're going to fragment the content of that in a way that we are gonna be looking at it and we are not even going to recognize it as something that is like Sims adjacent, in my opinion, because of how they're going to hyper monetize this. Like the mullahs in The Sims 4, they are just, that's the testing that they're doing. You know, people here in the comments, they're saying you need to get a testing team. Yeah, they don't care. Play testers is the paying customer. The testing that they want to do is how they can find the most excellent way to get that cash. That's it. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, absolutely. It's not just about profit, absolutely. And also, and thank you, Cherry Bonbon, for flagging this, but also it's not a matter of like wanting to reach the profit, and it's not about like the profit as a concept itself, is the specific situation that EA finds itself in that also exists in a bigger context of practices that nowadays are absolutely okay, a-okay in the gaming industry book, which doesn't mean everybody has been doing it, but it is socially accepted, you know, and so they can move in the space that it is already lowering the standards for everybody. Absolutely. So for them, when, yes, when I say their focus is going to be on how to get that bag because of the profit, is all about, you know, what way, and the ways that they've been implementing, we've seen them, they're these. It's the moolah, it's how freaking predatorial is that whole thing. We've seen the conversions in a few episodes ago, and they're made in a way that you will always need to, you'll probably always find yourself with some difference in there that is not going to be enough coins to allow you to buy something else. So they're gonna want you to put more money in that digital wallet that you get with the digital currency so that you continue engaging, because you're always gonna have that little bit of money. And that's not only is it not cool, because it's obviously like, I don't know, it's just bad, because you don't need to do this. I always go back to this point, like, look at how indie, not blanket statement, okay, but take an example of indie publishers or developers and the things that they feel are needed in their gameplay in order to balance things out in terms of like their spreadsheets or whatever. So when bigger companies engage in these very sneaky and like, I don't know, things that are not needed from them to do, that just really turn on the temperature of that monetization volume, um the reminder that I think we always need to tell ourselves is that they don't need to do this. You know, there should always be the scenario where the companies are make intellectual properties that are good enough for us to gravitate around it without the trouble of these kind of situations, without them breaking the game. um it's a big ask nowadays. It's absolutely a big ask. It's not as a given as that. What? That's crazy. In 2024, I got canceled on The Sims 4 Reddit for saying that I personally don't buy kits. Like, I didn't even say you shouldn't. I just said I don't buy them, and I got so much hate for that. What? Honey, I'm so sorry. Also, it's not that crazy of an opinion, considering that kits in The Sims 4 are literally just items and cosmetics, which, if you want, sure. But also, like, no, the entire premise of this is crazy. Like, this mindset truly creeps me out and scares me. Like, what do you mean people cannot have a nuanced opinion about something, especially something that we experience in such a subjective way as a video game, and it's also about what we decide to spend our money on. And we've said it last time, kids are something that doesn't, because they are the lowest they used to be. Hold on, it's 2026 now, honey. It used to be the lower price range that they could do. It was never on sale. So to many, and especially, I don't know if you have access to custom content, Pink Diamond, but to many of us that had access to free custom content, it didn't seem like worthy to get stuff from a kit when we could go and shop ourselves for whatever better thing we wanted. Yes, I think so. I think that the whole um mentality behind it, but speculation, we're just here chatting between friends. But I think that the whole mentality is, when you criticize something that somebody has also invested a lot in money, time, energy, and even, I feel that with these franchises, and this is something that has repercussions on me too. I'm not excluding myself from this conversation, but we are so bonded to these franchises and names and IPs, um, that yeah, it does, like, the public conversation around them does touch our sensitivity and our sensibilities, and sometimes it makes people feel exposed because you are kind of hurting something that to them is sort of the rule. I don't know. It's kind of odd because I don't know. Um, I don't understand the general agreement that our take on the game needs to be the same. But I gotta tell you, when I first went back to The Sims 4, during pandemic, which is when I really picked it back up like big time. Um, at first, I remember, sometimes hanging out in, like, I don't know, Reddit threads or even social media, just because, and seeing already, sometimes I wasn't yet in the public space. So sometimes there was this sentiment of things are not right, and the people complaining about certain stuff. I mean, the complaint about the insane lacking features of The Sims 4, as opposite to the previous titles, has been going on since the beginning of The Sims 4 until today, because nobody has seen cars. We've seen toddlers just because there was a new moon. Pools took a long time to arrive, so people already had points of criticism. And I remember that because I had just re entered the space, and my position was, I love The Sims. The Sims is like the only game that it makes me feel really fulfilled and that I really feel like playing all the time. And and when I had just gotten back to The Sims 4, I did have this kind of like feeling of, but why are people, why do people keep complaining about this? And to me, it was coming from a place of, I didn't have complaints. I was like still in the honeymoon phase. We've all been duped by this by this relationship with the Sims, honey. We all went through. And let's just take the context of the Sims 4. Okay, Diva? Let's, because the other games, those relationships were real. We're still friends with them. We still hang out sometimes, and even for a lot of hours. So we're good with them. But when it comes to The Sims 4, um, it's just toxic because at first, in my experience, like I said, I wasn't really understanding where the criticism was coming from. I was brushing off a lot of the things that I didn't recognize were a problem until I went back to The Sims 2, until I went back to The Sims 3. To me, that was kind of also very important. And I do believe that a lot of people, even the people that are opening their eyes now because they're like, I can't with this shit anymore. Like, you just keep coming up with these initiatives that nobody cared for, nobody asked for, and in the meantime, you're breaking my game. So like, f this. So until people don't do something that makes them see the gameplay and the features in a different way, I think that you feel very protective, and it feels like, look, I am willing to accept and have a good time with this, even though it's not the best, but it is the best for me right now. Like, literally toxic relationship playbook. You're like, look, I'm just not willing to go on Google and find a way to snatch myself some The Sims 3 fully packed, fully hung, honey. I don't feel like going all the way to that effort. So I'm just gonna stay here, play Sims 4, and just tell myself that it is good, because at the end of the day, you can just go to manage households and do all of the like moving and shaking that you want. And you do get, especially, I mean, in my case, I did get plenty hours in the game. I played a lot of The Sims 4. And that's why when I started kind of expressing my criticism using this channel, which at the beginning was a The Sims 4 channel. True tea. True tea. But then I started using it to talk about this impression that things were just not okay. And the comparison, because at the time when I first started gaining the courage to formulate an opinion about what was going on in the community and with the Sims games, to me the real deal breaker was that how is it possible that I play the most recent game, I believe that it's great, that I'm having a great experience, but then the cards get shuffled once I play something else. I go play something else, like many people like to say when you have a complaint. I go play something else, and I realize, whoa, there's a huge difference in how these games are treating me. Um, so that's what it did for me. And also, of course, all the bugs, because I've always said, my The Sims 4 usually behaves normally. She used to be fine. I never had like major crash outs of the game or anything like that. But I did have all of those minor bugs that really, in the long run, make you think, hell no. Even because they keep updating the game in the meantime. So you're always hoping that those annoying things that don't seem to ever get fixed eventually will get fixed. But I feel that we're now really reaching a crossroads, the end of a fucking road, honey, where it's like, no, babe, but like, these things are not going to get better. And we should just face it as a community. And I think that the overall reception to the whole marketplace and the bug that came with it, it's a proof of, whoa, somehow we're all seeing the same thing now. So is this an awakening moment for the community? I don't know. You guys tell me. Let me see what you're talking about in the chat. Correct. The Sims 4 fan base can be a little cult, ignoring the bad things. 100%. Mm. I thankfully never got to play something else because I already was, and that was the reason why I dropped Sims. True. True tea, yes. I remember when I first started seeing that people were really answering like that, like, just go play something else. And I was like, that's the solution? To me, it felt like, you know, those reels where people are like, if you're feeling sad, don't feel sad. It's like, just go play something else. Yeah. In the world of a franchise that has had the freaking monopoly for over 20 years. And also the true tea is, once a person is playing something else, you will know, because their starting point is always going to be, why are you still playing The Sims 4? Just curious question. And I mean, you guys know it. We played plenty of Sims 3 and Sims 2 here on the channel during the streams. It's just been great. Yes, especially The Sims 3, you know, she makes us sweat. She's not the easiest, especially for my computer streaming. I was playing The Sims 3 when I got the infamous blue screen of death on my computer. I was playing The Sims 3. But still, having a game that after you've gone through so many gameplay loops so many times, like The Sims 3 or The Sims 2, still leaving you like, you know that feeling when you're playing a game and you're like, yes, I'm having so much fun. That feeling of like you're gaming and maybe you have like the afternoon off or the evening off, and you're like, okay, for the next like 3 hours, I snooze the world and I'm completely into this and I'm enjoying it. I read a lot of comments throughout time of a lot of people saying, I reached the point where I was playing The Sims 4 and I was realizing that as I was playing, I was bored. I read comments of people said that they were falling asleep while they were playing The Sims 4. Obviously, you know, yes, I do agree that the people that like, once you own the license from EA, yes, of course you should be playing it. And I do not personally condemn the people that are trying to play the game and facing all of these bugs and issues, because they purchased it. It's their right to play it. Even me, that I'm public enemy number one with EA and their social media team. Even me, I should have the right, since I purchased The Sims 4 and all of her expansions, not all of them, but I've got a good library. If one day I decide to sit here and play The Sims 4, yeah, I should be entitled to that experience and for it to be a good one. Because when it's been a while since you played, you need to load it back up, wait for the latest updates that is going to be installed, and pray that in the meantime something has been done. Because imagine the bad rap of the game. Imagine somebody like not playing for a long time and then thinking, okay, I'm just gonna go and see what's up. And then the day they decide to open it back up, it's the day that The Sims 4 is like, it's us, it's not you, try again later, bye. Closing now, goodbye. That's just messed up. And I will always believe that, yeah, like, you got something, you should be able to access it. You should be able to use that freaking license that you got from EA and play with your save file. I kind of had the curiosity to see how broken my save files from The Sims 4, because I think that I do have like a couple that are pretty heavy. How they're doing, like, just randomly entering them, you know? To be fair, once I was away from The Sims 4, I did have some times. there is that feeling, especially if you have save files in there, you know, of wanting to go back. But that didn't last super long for me because for as much as I like, you know, building, I mean, I'm not great, but sometimes I enjoy it, or creating the Sims and again, shop for custom content and this and that for the free one. But then the gameplay matters. Hot take, honey. But the gameplay matters too. And it's also been kind of a blast because a blessing, sorry, because I've been able to try some other titles that were completely out of what I would usually play and my comfort zone. And I think that that ultimately was way more entertaining than trying to keep swimming towards the shore of whatever fuckery is going on with The Sims right now. So that's definitely a positive, and rediscovering the old games is a positive. Um, but I also think that it's a positive to realize to just be vocal in this like minimum way, because you guys, like, to them all of this doesn't really matter in my opinion. Like, what are they gonna do, another post saying that things are gonna be the same with them forever because nothing is ever gonna change or some crap like that? Like, no. But this is one way, one effortless way that people can have to just manifest that they do not like it here anymore. And so even as a testament to one day, if and when shit goes down, honey, nobody will ever come for us and tell us that we didn't say anything about it. The community is open and speaking. So this weird journey that they're taking is really out of their own doing. And this goes hand in hand with the concept of, you know, if you criticize, you don't like it enough, you don't support it enough. I've seen some comments of people saying, well, then you just want The Sims to end, like, it's that it is that why you're fighting this with all of your strength and voice in the comment section? Like, people are like, what are you trying to gain out of going against EA? And it's like, yeah, the franchise might end, the franchise might finish in better hands or whatever, but then what's the other option? That's the thing I always ask myself in this, like, what is the other option then? Okay, we don't complain anymore in the comments or whatever, everything is hunky-dory, honey. And then what? The game improves? No, honey, the game has not been improving, even when people were not doing this storm of girl, are you okay type of comment section. Even before people were sending tomatoes in the comment section, honey. So what is the other option? People are not vocal, people are not doing anything, people are not boycotting, people are not voting with their wallets. And then what happens? Because so far what we got is The Sims 4 has been going on for 12 years. And she's not been improving. She's been recycling, she's been breaking, she's been literally like betraying, because what else do you call this whole marketplace thing, which, let's never forget, she launched first on PC, on console, TBD. So that is a betrayal to the PC players. Why? um so is and cherry on top of the cake, I'm sorry, but we were almost forgetting that EA is about to be fully owned on a majority stakes, if it's not fully, but almost, by the Saudi government and Jared Kushner's firm, and whatever other mess is going on in there. Because, you know, I've tried covering this from different perspectives, trying to make like the whole buyout more or less easy to digest. But the truth is that what we know, we collectively, it's like the tip of the iceberg. And the curious thing is that the more you dig into certain aspects of it, the more like connections and conflicts of interest and like just crap you end up finding, just crap. So is this the other path? Or is the only path apathy And then once everything is completely destroyed, then everybody will have to go and play something else. Is that the solution? This would be the conversation that I would have if I ever had the pleasure to have a productive conversation with somebody that is still fighting to be on board. Because the truth is that also, you guys, we come here, we talk, we do our thing, we meet, we spend some hours together, and I love it. And we dish, we talk about the bugs, we read the news, we read the latest interview with Will Wright, just to determine that at the end of the day, he's just an out of touch rich dude like everyone else. We do all of these things, but I mean, the decision to like stay away financially is what at the end of the day speaks on our behalf, I think, in my opinion. Because it's just so crazy to be willing to go to war for the concept of The Sims, for the concept of EA, criticize other people for speaking up. But then you're still giving them money. Like, where is your gain in doing all of this? Because at least my gain is I'm not spending money on EA's products. So that's a gain for me because I'm not spending money. It's great. And I'm also trying to keep a clear vision of what the heck is going on because, of course, it's something that interests me. It's something that I care for. And it's something that has been part of my life. And so I am, interacting in that sense. But to the people that are, willing to take shit online on behalf of The Sims, on behalf of EA, and then they also continue like feeding into the pockets, whether it's, buying more content, buying the moolah, applying to their creators program, applying to the marketplace. Like, these are a way to continue to enable the bad behavior, in my opinion. Let's stop enabling this bad behavior. New slogan, honey. Let's stop giving money for this crap. Let's not wait for another game-breaking update. Let's not. Let's just stop now. Stop engaging. It's not worth it. And clearly, by the way, after, and this will be the cherry on top of the headline, and then we will move to dishing because we need to just, unzip and be done with this. But just one thing, after they create this problem, I don't care about their stupid phrasing. They're phrasing it the way it's convenient to them, as anybody would. But after they created this issue, then they have the audacity, I'll repeat, I'm sorry, but I have to repeat. They always have this idea of like, well, thank you for helping us doing this for you. Thank you for your assistance in resolving this one. And even if there was this little crash at launch that really impacted, some under certain circumstances, we still fixed it. So aren't we the best? And I know it's tricky, what else should they have said? I would not have said this, to be honest. I would have been like, I don't know. Because again, they didn't test any of this. And there was nobody in the room to tell them, look, make sure that when you drop the marketplace, which will not be well received, honey. I will never believe that somebody in any of those rooms thought the marketplace will be, absolutely a fan favorite. Like, no, they cannot have thought that. Come on. So nobody thought, okay, let's do this shit, but let's at least not give them the impression that we're breaking their custom content that they got for free on purpose, since we're launching the monetized one that we're having people make or reskin or recolor or whatever the fuck they're doing with that custom content, sell it for 200 mullahs. Like, what do you mean you guys didn't think of this? So it's either not caring, it's either wrong prioritizing, or I don't know. It's really painful for me to jump to the other side that says this was on purpose, this was on purpose. It's hard, like, even for me that I have no compassion at all, just anger. I just have anger for EA, okay? But it's just it's kind of crazy to entertain that idea, but the pieces of the puzzle are all matching together, honey. So it's so understandable to think that, you know? There you go. Still believe that was intentional. It's like, it's so hard not to, right? Because the coincidences are just too many. But then my thing is, okay, what did you guys want to achieve? Like, was this just a test in the sense of, can we do this? Maybe. Maybe that's what it was. It was just them saying, okay, let's see if it's possible for us to achieve this. Then if it is, a whole new world opens in front of our eyes. It's just, and it's also crazy that we can sit here and just ponder it. Like, whether ultimately we think that it was on purpose or not, because I don't think we're ever gonna be finding out unless some bad employee that maybe was recently laid off. Come on and spill all that beautiful tea to this babe over here. I'm all ears for you. So unless we get something like that, some recollection, some insider tea, we're never gonna know. But also because of that, they are willingly choosing to leave the community. I mean, they're like, who gives a shit? They're like, who cares? Let them eat cake, honey. Let them eat cake. Let them think that we did it on purpose. Let them pull their foil hats and be all conspiracy, whatever, But to me, the fact that we get to sit, entertain it, and even think, look, if it ever comes out that this was on purpose, who would be shocked, honey? That is just the definition of the standard that the community exists and just like roams through. There's no trust. There's no confidence in this brand anymore. And, I don't even know if Margot Robbie is gonna save them at this point. I said what I said. Yes. I don't even know. I made a whole video about the Sims movie thing and if it's moving on or not. And I love Margot Robbie, but no. I would not spend any mullahs on the movie. But I don't know if the fabulous Lucky Chap Entertainment PR machine would be able to save this messy bitch, honestly. I really don't know. But honey, keep voting, okay? On our poll is still going, still live. So let us know. But that was it for our main topic, you guys. Yes, the players are disappointed, and yes, the game continues to break for many of them, and especially Mac users, it seems. So again, if you're joining now or rewatching later, don't forget to spill all the tea. If you're a Mac user, have you been experiencing any of this of these dramatic experiences? please let us know. And I truly hope that it's not happening anymore, just like they're claiming over here. But we shall see, honey. We shall see. Now, I hope you're ready to dish, you guys. I surely am. I truly wish I had like a snack. Not gonna lie, but I don't. I need to get like an actual stock of gummies for when we go live because they are the best thing for me to snack on during the stream because you know I'm talking and everything and those are great unless they stick to your teeth. And this is going to be my last sentence before we move on to my favorite time of the stream. Let's dish, babe, and hit that like button. Hey, friend. Okay, and also, if you ever think of something that we should be dishing about during our next streams, you can always join us on Discord. The link is pinned right here in the live chat, honey, so don't even need to look for it. Come here to the Discord and let me know if there's something you want to dish about. I'm always ready for it. Now, what I thought could be fun is this. We will have to go to Sims community. So I was okay with our exploration sometimes of the Sims community, honey. But I did see some comments from people that were saying, to my videos, that were saying, why are we taking Sims community as like a reliable source? And they said that apparently many times the Sims community like is spreading things that are not correct or confirmed. And in all honesty, I had no idea that this was happening with the Sims community. You know, I'm always joking because we've been enjoying a lot of the pieces written by Joban. Of course, honey, just like this one, because he's always spilling all the tea. I gotta say, because of that comment, super honest, I've tried also during our talks to go through different spaces. But they do on the Sims community often spill the beans on the most recent Sims surveys that they've been doing, and they post the screenshots. So I saw this and I wanted us to talk about it, to dish about it, because it's also freaking hilarious. But I also always want to welcome you guys, whether you have been coming here for a while, and thank you for that, or you're just joining right now and you're like, who is this crazy lady talking? You can always let me know. Like if, for example, we're going through something and it's from the Sims community or any other website, and you think that something is like misleading or not correct, you know, let me know, because it's important to continue all types of conversation as long as they are obviously respectful and logical. As long as they make sense, I'm entertaining it. So always let me know, especially if you hear more tea about the Sims community, because I never want to be obviously sharing things that are incorrect coming from them. I do get that for a lot of Sims creators that discuss like current events with the franchise, it is a source that is constantly up to date on like the main topics that go around in the community. So I think that that's why it becomes kind of an aid tool for the research. But again, if you see something that is incorrect, let me know. In here, I think we are pretty good because these are screenshots from this survey. So what's happening? We know that the Sims 4 Marketplace launched when? 2 weeks ago, honey? A fortnight? Well, I don't think it's that long. Do they say it here? No. But I mean, she's new. She's still new around, like super new. I think we checked the marketplace 2 live streams ago, so she's been around for 2 weeks, more or less. However, The Sims 4 is already taking feedback on her. And sometimes, you know, that um, we find some extra tea. We did go through some January surveys, I think, in our second episode of the Drama House Talks. So obviously, always feel free to rewatch any of the talks episode. I always try doing a little cut with some edits of the topics we've been talking about and make a normal video, because I know that maybe people don't go through the whole thing, and I know that I yap a lot, but I kind of think that that's the vibe. I hope. I hope that that's a positive, that you're not just, you're like, yeah, it's cool, I just wish she shushed for a second, even because that's not gonna work with me. Sorry, not sorry. So they decide to make a survey about the marketplace because they don't think, because apparently it's not clear enough to them why people hate her. And so love the edit with the mullahs, by the way. And so they decide to gather feedback. So friends at the Sims community and Jovan, they collected the questions so we can look at what they are asking about. Okay, let me see how it's looking for you. How it's looking. No, how is it? What's cooking good looking? Okay, never mind. I wanted to say something smart, but it wasn't the phrase I was looking for. Okay, the first image says, for this survey, we are interested in your experience with the marketplace recently added to The Sims 4. During your most recent visit to the marketplace, what were you primarily trying to do? I'm sorry. This was a tough sentence to read for some reasons. Purchase content. So what did you want to do the most? Purchase content, just checking what's new, download or manage content that I own, browse and explore official The Sims 4 content, search for something specific, browse and explore maker content. Okay, what's the fucking difference between browse and explore maker content and official The Sims 4 content? Okay, the kids. Okay. So they're like, are you browsing because you want to purchase something from the makers? Are you browsing because you were looking for a kit, for a pack, or just to be looking around? Other, please write in. Too bad I did not take the survey, because yes, I would have been another. Just wanted to see how bad it was, honey. Number 2, overall, how satisfied are you with your marketplace experience today? And of course, you have all the levels from very dissatisfied to very satisfied. Overall, how would you describe your experience with the marketplace so far? Very negative, negative, neutral, positive, very positive. Okay, so how was the experience and how satisfied you are with it? Have you previously ever used mods or custom content in The Sims 4? Yes, no, unsure. They're stealing my polls. Then we're missing the question from my poll today, you know. Did your EA app break? Okay, so first they want to know why you were there and how did you like it? And they're going to also want if you are a custom content babe or really a newbie. And then they ask, please rate your agreement with the following statements. So again, if you're joining now, we're talking about this survey that The Sims 4 made related to the marketplace, because already they need to know. Also, because obviously they don't know. And they don't care about the general online impression of this initiative. That does not matter to them. they need a survey for you to tell them the truth. So please rate your agreement from do not agree at all to completely agree. It was easy to browse and find new content in the marketplace. Okay. I mean, when we went, there wasn't that much content to browse for, to be completely fair. I know that now they probably added some stuff, and they're gonna keep adding. But okay. I can quickly find content that matches my playstyle or interests. The marketplace helps me discover content I wouldn't have found otherwise. I mean, girl. At least, excuse me, the Sims 4 team, but at least have the decency. Have the decency to ask this survey, to ask these questions when the console players are in the conversation too. Because I'm sorry, but asking PC players this question, discover content I wouldn't have found otherwise, please. The pimple patches for €5? Be serious now, the Sims team. Search filters and sorting help me narrow down content effectively. No, that was actually a mess. The search and the filters was odd because, but again, when I browsed, there wasn't much content to begin with. And so it was a little bit of a struggle browsing between content for the marketplace and content for the Sims, like packs. Because I know that they're so interested in my feedback on this. The marketplace is interesting to explore and browse. Interesting. Yeah. It was definitely interesting to go and see the conversions of those mullahs. I wonder if they ask questions about that too. So 5, 6. Please rate your agreement with the following statements. This is a little bit small. I hope you can still read, guys. So from do not agree at all to completely agree, they have 3 options. The first one, listings provide enough information for me to decide whether to get an item. What? Listings provide enough information for me to decide whether to get an item. Okay. Yeah, the listings being the descriptions of the packs. I don't know about that, honey, because all of the listings that we saw on the marketplace, they all had different descriptions and different styles in the description, meaning that some of them were showing the swatches, were very, specific in terms of what you were gonna get with, in terms of like numbers of items and color swatches and all of that. Some others were just like, this is what you got, a fabulous vibe for your living room and Sims life, and that's it. So I don't know. I don't know if the listings actually provide enough information for me to decide to get an item. It would have been easier if I just keep thinking this, you guys, which maybe it's silly, you tell me, but they could have done this. And they could have done this in a way that they were implementing a marketplace, a platform, let's call it, where some creators could be facilitated in uploading and providing custom content to both PC and consoles. Like, that idea I get, but I get it the moment that it doesn't get paywalled, and paywalled in this manner. And in that case, yeah, like, imagine if we were browsing that and it was all free to install. And I know that when you say something like this, people are like, girl, are you crazy? Like, don't you think that they're giving already enough free things? Like, the game is free to play, and then they always put like a pack for free. So like, what else do you want for free? And I'm like, there are games that make you pay the price once, and then for the rest, for the remaining course of those games lifetime, they keep giving you stuff for free because you've already paid the initial fee, you know? I just think we're so badly treated. We've been so badly treated by EA and their shenanigans and their way of handling things like for such a long time, that really something that it's not that insane to think in a game like The Sims, in a franchise like The Sims, in a game like The Sims 4, it's been out forever, and for a publisher like EA, it's not that crazy to think that they could have done this platform to facilitate custom content, just as, you know, allowing creators to be featured there, but like without the whole we are gonna get people to convert their money into mullahs so that we can profit off of it, and we can profit 70-30, by the way, for that insane cut, because that's also important, right? But they could have done it for free, and the take would have been completely different. And also, I'm not saying that people would have excused the drop of the marketplace breaking their custom content and mods, because I think that's unexcusable regardless. But you know, even that feeling we were talking about before of, did they do it on purpose? Like us questioning whether this was on purpose or not, even that feeling would be different because there's no extra monetization there. Everybody would still be bummed because why did you have to come and break my game to add something, right? But it would have been completely different. And I think it's about time that we begin envisioning the treatment that we actually want for ourselves as a community, as a player base, as a group of fans that honestly have shown time and time again that we are fucking ride or die, because none of us, even those of us that say, I'm boycotting, I'm not playing, I'm not buying, all three of them, or just variations of these statements, you know, you do it with a broken heart. You do it knowing that that was your last choice, you know, because you just couldn't anymore. You don't do it because you love it. What you would love would be to see the game working and them not doing all of this like crappy things that they've been doing, right? Yeah, I understand that, Pink Diamond. Yes. There is responsibility in the creators that decided to participate. We did have in an episode, we went through the statements from a creator that formerly had engaged with the marketplace, Sim Andy. Fantastic like statement, and I love being able to read about that experience and why that creator specifically decided to leave before it was too late. And that creator specifically was encouraging their colleagues to do the same, because also it gave us, and you know, it was a subjective experience. It is an experience that I personally decided to believe in, but I'm not saying that this should be everybody's opinion, you know. Everybody can take that with a pinch of salt, and I think that's fine because it was a subjective experience. But at the same time, I found it very powerful that Sim Andy was saying, if you are in the same position that I was and thinking that this is going to be a good opportunity and trying to face it with this, you know, excitement about it, leave before it's too late, because you're not going to look good once the storm has passed about this whole marketplace thing. I really appreciated that Sim Andy shared that, because it is an interesting window, as the explanation there was, at first the terms of the partnership weren't clear to me, and then once they became clear, what also became clear was the ridiculous standard that was required from me, and that was enough. that was enough to not be there for the lunch. And good for Sim Andy. I mean,
Slay! Slay!
100%. And that too, yes, Greg, absolutely. The fact that they targeted creators that were in financial trouble was so cringe. Yes, you're right to bring that up, because actually the past times that we've been mentioning the whole Sim Andy thing, I was not talking about this part, but it's true. It seems, it felt, at least from Sim Andy's experience, it felt as though they were really targeting and taking advantage, in a way, like taking advantage, like they knew what they were doing. Taking advantage of the fact that these creators were really looking for that sort of like financial stability. That is just so shitty, to be honest. And we've spoken about this even in the context of, you know, the whole creators program and Sims creators and Sims influencers. To me, it's always, it doesn't matter who is on the other side of the phone. Like if EA is on one side and random influencer here, it doesn't matter to me, because I still think that they are obviously benefiting of a connection that they can have with these creators, whether it's because of the weight of the franchise and the legacy of the franchise, or whether it is because, you know, we said it multiple times, when you are a creator engaging in the Sims space, then what is your ultimate reward and recognition of your work, if not working directly with the company that makes that game? Right? Like this is logical. The problem is that on the receiving side of the phone, there's EA, and so that's where things get like, no, they get complicated, of course, but the logic behind it, it's clearly always a relationship that is not balanced, clearly, because ultimately these creators, these makers that apply and participate and engage, they are the ones that, I mean, and I think in their perspective, but in EA's perspective too, they are the ones who need EA. Although in my perspective, in my opinion, I think that a lot of these creators and makers don't realize that maybe EA needs them more than they need EA. And that for me is kind of like this knot that it's very tough to untie with people in the community. Like, to the makers and the creators, I would say, if I had to come from a place of no shade, honey, I would say, just realize that although this relationship, this work relationship that you're establishing with EA is looking to you a lot like they have, you know, all the power, and you need them. I really see it as no, EA, and as a consequence the Sims, but we can link them together in one entity in this conversation. They need these makers, they need these creators. If no makers were going to apply, and by the way, we kind of got the idea that the Sims team went to look for them anyways before they could even apply. So there was an initial scouting, and that's where we got these inside statements on how it felt as though they were targeting people that were going to accept, especially because of the financial stability, security of it, you know. Yeah, there are also the creators selling recycled stuff. Yes, it's true. um and yeah, and I also understand why seeing certain names and creators up there, it's odd, because I mean, I haven't been there since we went there together, but the space, especially at the beginning, looked very limited in terms of names of creators. So it's also very easy to single them out because it's not many of them at the moment in the whole marketplace, right? So if I were a creator, I would also think about that. I can't just go incognito, you know, and hope that people don't see me in that list. But it is starting to get more and more problematic to associate with EA, like facts. And if people are not feeling it yet, I think that they will. And why continuing to, when there are so many other ways to continue engaging with the beautiful communities that these creators manage to grow and develop? Like, why wasting your time in doing some random crap with the EA? Like, no, no, no. Boycott them there too. Okay, we completely derailed. I'm sorry, guys, but I hope you're having a good time. I am reading the survey together because don't forget, honey, if we weren't doing this right now here together, we wouldn't be doing this at all because this is like one cannot do it on their own. It's just so disappointing. Um but they were asking in the back to the survey, honey. They were asking for feedback about the listings. Like we said, previews, images, and video clearly show what I will receive. I disagree with this one too. If we're pretending I am taking the survey, no. The images were all over the place, and even the ones that the Sims team had the audacity to post on their social media as like the post to say that the marketplace was dropping, even in those, people were like, what in the low resolution is this? So no, I don't think that they clearly showed what would, like, honestly, some of them were worse quality than what you see in websites for custom content for The Sims, in my opinion and in my experience. It's clear how marketplace content will work and appear in my game. Babe, you guys were selling shoes, furniture, and pimple patches. How would the marketplace content work or appear in my game? What question is this? What kind of question is this? But okay, yeah, they want to know how satisfied people are with the experience of browsing and understanding what they're going to get. I get that. Please rate your agreement with the following statements. It was easy to complete a purchase. Thank God we don't know. The steps to purchase felt quick and straightforward. I mean, I guess that you just need to get the moolah and then get the product, or you just need to pick the product and then get the moolah. I don't know if there are any other steps, but I have not seen. The truth is, I have not seen feedback from people purchasing because I really think people are not purchasing, the ones that are usually sharing feedback on that experience. And I also think, as somebody who was on stream browsing the marketplace, looking at the features and spilling all the beans and being shady about it, even if it was, you guys, just to show you the experience, I'm sorry, but I would have not purchased any content. I'm sorry. Even if they told me that there was like a very insane bug that happened upon checking out or whatever, no. Not here. We can imagine if it was straightforward or not. Pricing and what's included are clear before I confirm the purchase. Oh, I sure hope that they are. I sure hope that they are. I feel confident that I understand what will happen when I confirm purchase. I mean, my best guess is that when I confirm purchase, I get the content. Um, is there anything else that happens? I mean, you get the content, which I believe maybe you will install like any other add-on. I don't know. And then you probably get some ads for more content that you should buy. And I guess that's it. Now it's kind of making me think, what's going on with this process of purchasing, honey? Okay, numero 8. Please rate your agreement with the following statements. It's easy to find and access the content I own. Well, I mean, depending on when you're asking this to the people, because I've read on our very own Discord that because of all the trouble and turbulences that The Sims 4 has been going on and the EA app has been going through, some people could not find and access the content that they owned. Not related to the marketplace, clearly. It was related it was related to purchases not made in Mula, but actual body, like packs. It's easy to manage my own content. Download, install, enable, disable, remove. Okay. It's clear what I own versus what I don't own throughout the marketplace. I mean, these surveys, girl, I know that we said it before, but sometimes they put these options in the Sims surveys that just give me PTSD because as a worker, I've made plenty surveys, and sometimes you just don't know what to say, and you just want to get you just want to get answers that are not the worst, and so you just ask questions like these, like, is it clear to you what you own versus what you don't own throughout the marketplace? What? But also, if what they mean is when you're in the marketplace, can you easily view the products that you have installed in your game or not? I think that there is a page to do that. I guess that to them, these kind of like managing and viewing features are of core importance. I don't know. I did find that the user experience could have been a little bit better. Yes, in terms of searching and filters too. But yes. Yeah, they should make a survey about their TOS, their terms of service. Now that would be entertaining. That would be a survey that we would take, honey. Come on, we would. Okay, question 9. I think now we're entering the more spicy moments of this survey. Please rate your agreement with the following statements, from do not agree at all to completely agree. I trust the marketplace to deliver what is advertised. To deliver all of those pimple patches, honey. And also, okay, what is advertised? But the truth is that in many cases, yes, in the creator spec, you do have a breakdown of the items, just like you have normally in like expansion packs on the EA app. That's true. So you do see the amount and what items you're getting. But many times the swatches and the descriptions are just not enough. So deliver what's advertised. You guys are advertising them like in very different ways according to the product that people are looking at. I feel safe. Oh God. I feel safe making purchases through the marketplace. No. No. Nobody should. Because your Moolah scheme is shady AF. Because let's not forget, the Moolahs And I've become an expert on mullahs. So thank you guys for that, for giving me this opportunity to really specialize myself in the art of the mullahs. But the thing about the mullahs is that they buy you only makers packs. So the ones you get in the marketplace, the freaking paywalled custom content, okay, and kits. You cannot spend moolah on other forms of packs. For example, expansion packs, no. Game packs, no. What else is there? Stuff packs, no. It's just for kits, and it's just for the maker's content. So that's already something that I'm like, but why? Why can I pay? And we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole, I promise. Sometimes it's risky to open some drawers and see what's inside, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Why? Because also in the view that you have in the marketplace, you do have the section to see expansion packs and pieces of content like that you cannot really pay with the mullahs. So the reality is that EA wants you to act on transactions where you go and exchange your real money for fake one, which is already a very different concept than feeling safe in a purchase. But then they also want you to engage in transactions with your payment method, with your standard payment method for packs, like, DLCs, expansions, game packs, all these ways that they had to categorize their DLC that are now defunct in the world of The Sims, honey. No more game packs, no more stuff packs, just expansions, kits, and now this. And how long, babe, let's think about it. How long did it take them to do this really never-ending makeover to everything? We're now at the point where, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, if we travel back in time just not many years ago and we went back to our past selves and told them that we are currently talking about this, I think they would be like, wow, things got bad. Things got bad. But we're now at the point where we have game packs are defunct, stuff packs are defunct. Like, you can still buy them. They're not holding it against you, honey, that you want to give them some money for that werewolves pack. Give it to them. They're never gonna hold it against you. They love it, okay? But okay, those are off, chopped. They're only making expansion packs. They came up with kits. Kits were very similar to what in older people's minds was stuff pack, used to be stuff packs. So, okay, kits are like stuff packs, but they have less things, they cost less. Got it. Then the kits became the creators' kits, which some people had problems with. Some people were like, well, it's just another kit, and if you want it, get it. If not, don't get it. Some people had questions about the creators working with The Sims already. But when the creators' kits were launched at first, not the marketplace ones, the just like standard ones, the classic ones, the whole EA buyout conversation had not kicked in. So they were lucky in that aspect. But we're now at the point where, yes, she is already here. The digital currency that just months ago in our little conversations about the future of The Sims used to be like, this ghost that was supposed to kind of make us feel a little scared and be like, wow, one day they're gonna have that. One day they're gonna have these microtransactions fueled by digital currencies. And everybody was like, ooh, honey, when that day arrives, I'll be out. So to be honest, the day where they decided not only to give you the digital currency, but also to monetize custom content, to paywall custom content, and doing it in a very smart way, which is I'm paywalling it, but not with real money. Genius. Not with real money, okay? So we are already in that moment. They paywalled custom content, they have a digital currency, they're gonna continue in like a predatory behavior, because that's the path that they are walking right now. And look at your EA app, honey, on your desktop. She's blue. That is never going to be forgotten nor forgiven here at the Drama House, okay? The blue one, no. Correct. Yes. Pink Diamond is saying, why are they asking if we feel safe using their marketplace? Why would we feel unsafe? Questions like that actually make me feel unsafe when I didn't before. Yes, like what do they mean? Have they had any recent like payment details security breach or something? XX Nick Cash XX, hi. Imagine paying for custom content you can get from the Sims resource for free. Yeah, that used to be the standard. The standard until correct, ladies and gentlemen, we're cooked. We are living in the depiction that not too long ago used to make us think, ooh, honey, if they go that far, no, if they go there that far, I'm out. So I'm happy we are out, you guys. But you know, you're never out. And being out is not what people long for, what people wish for when it comes to their favorite video games franchise, obviously. But okay, guys, next time you or someone close to you makes a purchase on the marketplace, please don't let it be you. But let me know if you felt safe. The marketplace is transparent about requirements, limitations, and policies. For example, refunds and support. I mean, kind of audacious to ask this question at this point, because what do you mean? I mean, refunds, okay, but support. Yeah, people are asking for support when after you install the marketplace, they couldn't even launch the game. So that support is definitely needed. Requirements, limitations, and policies. We went through that. The one, obviously, what is there on the marketplace page. We did find, I loved it. Like, I think it was either the main page of the marketplace or maybe one of the items, one of the listings, as they call them here. When they had like in the bottom, super small, they had the star sign that said, when you are purchasing something through the EA, whatever, you are just purchasing a license. Like, it's just beyond. It was just like splashed all over. So that I got. I also understood that, and I hope that people understand it. If people didn't know yet, I hope they will. Maybe I will clip this part, okay? But it's very important that everybody remembers that the mullahs are not refundable. So if that's what they're talking about, if they ever decide that for any reasons, either the mullahs cannot be accessed anymore in general by everybody, or also if they decide that you cannot enter their services, which we've seen cases of them doing this, you know, timing out or blocking completely users because of reasons like, for example, the anti-cheat that they've been installing in a bunch of their games. We've talked about this plenty, honey. But in that case, you know, you getting somehow away from your account and not being able to enter. If in the meantime they decide that the mullahs are gone, that money that you initially put in purchasing the digital coin, she's gone. They're not going to refund it to you. So if this is the policy that they are talking about, we know. We're absolutely aware of that condition, EA. Rate your agreement. Marketplace content feels like a good value for the price. I mean, it is the second to last option that they have put in here, because they're like, wow, let's just laugh about it. Let's just laugh about it in the end. Marketplace content feels like a good value for the price. No. We even did the comparison between what content the maker's pack include in terms of number of content, not even judging whether we thought that that content was cute or not, because in our mission down in the market, down under in the marketplace, our mission was not to judge if the content was good or not, also because that's so subjective, okay? And that is not the point at all. But the point was that for the same price of in the mullahs currency exchange, for the same price that you would pay for a standard kit, and standard kits more or less come with the same amount of stuff, which, mind you, some haters like me used to even think that the amount of things you get for a kit is not okay. So imagine that. Now, we did the comparison between what you get on a standard in a standard kit and what you get with those makers kits. Because the thing is that in those makers kits, the amount of stuff you get was kind of random. Whereas in the normal kits, no, normal is not, but the regular ones, you know, the kits from Maxis, in those you usually have a standard that I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, now I'm going really based on memories, but it's between what, 22 and 27 pieces, whether it's create a sim or build and buy. But for the maker's pack, we found all sorts of numbers based on the items. But I gotta say, I think that back then, and it had just launched, that's true. I don't know if now things have changed a little bit, but honestly, that was my first impression and only one. But it was very all over the place and not fair, honestly. Even if in one of these packs you thought, okay, these items are cute, okay, fine, but you are paying the same amount for something that has way less stuff. It's just, I don't know, it just breaks me inside. I don't, it just makes no sense. It could have been an oversight, you know, maybe they didn't realize that they didn't set, no, but now I'm gaslighting myself. That's bullshit. No, I don't think it was an oversight. I think it was just like, let's see what we fish. Let's see who falls for it. Let's see who pays for it. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Like, all the items that we saw in the maker's packs were like non-functional. I did not see any item that was functional. Create a sim or build and buy. That's true. I mean, remember like stuff packs that actually came with gameplay things? Wow. We had it so good. So after this ridiculous question of the good value for the price, please, the last one is, and I don't know if it's the last one of, oh no, it's not the last one of the survey. I have enough information to judge whether an item is worth it. What fucking question is this, girl? Have enough information to judge whether an item is worth it. So are we going back to judging the description of the listings, or it's just based on vibes? Like, what do you mean? How do I know? I don't think we'll find an answer to this, but how do I know if an item is good? It's worth it, actually. Not good, worth it. Je ne sais pas, who knows? But you can decide to do not agree at all or completely agree with this statement. Number 10. Oh boy. Okay, number 10. Guys, I can't. How important is supporting makers when deciding whether to get marketplace content? From very unimportant to very important. How important is supporting makers? Supporting them how, honey? You're paying them 30%. How was it? 30% on every... It was like on every X amount of mullahs spent or some crap like that. You're trying to disguise this and into like making people think that there is somehow a sense of support towards these makers when deciding to download, what am I saying? To buy the marketplace content. But the thing is, that would be just like taking advantage of this sentiment coming from the community, because if there is one entity that finds it very unimportant to support the makers, the reality is that that entity is EA, honey. They want to say if putting the makers' names in there is enough of a bait for you or not. If at the end of the day you want to do it as a gesture of like, you know, goodwill and try to give back to these creators as if, girl, as if there weren't a place where you could go and do that already for PC. And you could do it for free, you could do it for a fee, you could do it for a donation. Like, it's not that these places don't exist on the internet. Uh, 11. I'm like slowly melting reading this survey, you guys. 11. Please rate your agreement with the following statements. Maker related information, for example, who made the item, maker details was easy to find. Isn't the name of the maker like in the header of the items page? No idea. But also we were not browsing in there with the aim to find a specific maker or not. So I don't know. It was clear that the marketplace supports makers. It was clear that the marketplace supports makers. It really... Oh. Guys. My friends, we had it all wrong. It was just a miscalculation on our part, honey. They were just there to support the makers. And then you went and made such a big deal about the moolah. I mean, speaking of overreaction, you guys as a community, you were overreacting because all they wanted to do, all they ever wanted was to make these makers happy. How don't you like cry with happiness just knowing that it should be clear to you that the marketplace supports the makers? It's always been about the makers. You didn't know? No, that's why. That's why they did all of this, and it's also out of their love for makers that they decided to break the custom content that people already had in the game. So should have been clear to you, you guys. It was absolutely a support tool for makers. Information about the makers influences which items I choose. I have no idea. I mean, I believe that, yes, if there are people in the community that followed these creators because they really like them, I personally have had like phases like that where I found myself engaging, interacting a lot with certain custom content, always from the same creators. And so, then you recognize the name and you're probably gonna, again, engage more. But I also did not see any information about makers in the pages. I saw their names. I don't even know if they had like any of maybe they had their EA gallery ID, but I don't think I saw like any social handle or any of that sort. So I'm seeing what you guys are saying in the chat about the Sims 3 store. I still think Pink Diamond is saying, I still think the Sims 3 store is the worst part of the Sims 3, and I'm not a massive fan myself, but people are defending the Sims 4 marketplace by pointing that out. I know, yeah, they're trying to do that comparison. And the thing is, not enjoying the concept for the Sims 4 marketplace does not mean that you, like, to me, we can point at both the issues. I just find the Sims 3 store to be something that worked in a slightly different way. The intention behind it were not these. It was, I'm like, I'm like justifying the errors from the past. I'm like, it was a different time. There were some losers like me that didn't even have a clue. Like, I would see the in-game ads for the Sims 3 store. That's true. But my computer was not connecting to the internet at the time, honey. So I was like, I was like, what the Sims 3 store? I can't even see her. But it did have, I think Greg was mentioning this, the Sims 3 store did have some ways to get you to get money, like the coins, the points, the Sims 3 points, to get them for free. Pricing was kind of insane in there too. That's true. Like the conversion between points and real money was wow. My problem with that, with like fully having an opinion, I mean, in a nutshell, no, they're not comparable. I think that when the Sims 4 fans bring that up, is just because they feel that it's going to earn them some points, because people don't want to go hard on the Sims 3. Although there were a lot of things worthy of criticism, because why not? Like, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion and criticizing something. Like, it's okay. But the thing with The Sims 3 is, although, yeah, prices were insane, with the store, of course, I do think that there were a lot of free things in there, and there were also a lot of things that were actually cool. Like, nowadays, it's been such a long time since The Sims 3 times. So, how can we put this? Nowadays, the internet has done its work of preservation with the Sims 3 store, honey. So, and I said what I said, and you know what I'm saying. So because of that, a lot of people got to experience the content that was locked behind the Sims 3 points paywall at the time. And I gotta say that some of it is really, really dope. Like the amusement park lot. I'm not defending that it was paywalled. I'm not defending the price tag that lot had. I don't think it was fair or correct. And yes, it was a way, sorry, to paywall that content, like absolutely. But there's like an ocean between even as an overpriced piece of content, you get the fully functional freaking theme park and get it today in 2026 when your computer can actually run it. Because I also do believe that back then, downloading that from the store and playing it, if you guys managed back in the Sims 3 days, total legends, because I couldn't even easily move from the map view to the household view when the Sims 3 came out. I was part of those people with no internet connection and no computer that could run it. So my experience with The Sims 3 is really a lot in retrospective. But I think that in terms of the skeleton of the initiative, it's very different. We stand media preservation. Yes, babe. We absolutely do. Yeah, the conversion for The Sims 3 is almost the same as The Sims 4. They had, I remember the first time I actually browsed the store as, nowadays, when I started playing The Sims 3 again, and I was like, what? I was like, I cannot believe that they wanted this amount of money for this type of content. That EA has always been on the side of the greediness and just milking whatever they can. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. I think I've already said it in a different stream, but I'll never forget when I first started my era of Sims Mania as a kid. I was always begging my dad to, every time a new expansion pack for The Sims 2 was coming out, and then they did the stuff packs and all of that. So I was always like, there's a new pack, I know I asked you for a different one, but there was always a new one coming out. And I remember back then, so early 2000s, honey, my dad telling me, I'm not liking this because I am seeing where this is going. They are always going to keep adding things so that you will keep buying it, making you believe that the next thing they do is going to be the next unmissable thing. And I remember like super vividly my dad saying, I don't like this, and this is starting to look not cool at all. He was like, I'm starting to see what they're doing with this. Because of course, at that time, it didn't have, there were many games that worked with DLCs, that's true, but it didn't have to be necessarily the norm. In my household, there were a lot of games that just existed in their case, and they saw the light of day, and that was it. And you paid the price, and that was it. So I remember actually hearing this conversation, and my dad clocked that tea. He absolutely got it.
Ooh, girl.
Yes, he definitely saw it through, you guys. And imagine after this throwback, this little throwback moment, we are back here with this behavior from EA that just proves the freaking point. And they even have the audacity to ask if you're influenced by the information about the makers. Question number 12. Oh God, how likely are you to use the marketplace again in the future, honey?
Oh my God.
Of course. Of course, the final question is, babe, are you coming back? No, absolutely not. And I feel that if people actually gave it the time of day to answer this survey, some good angel soul screenshotted it. So, but I do think that a lot of people, even the ones that secretly gave it a try, were a little bit appalled. And so it's very unlikely they're gonna use it in the future. But the truth is that also, honey, yes, it's very unlikely. Yes, people are revolting, but I do think that all those players will eventually. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to end this on a pessimistic note. Maybe I am. I apologize in advance. But I do think that even people that are very turned off, and let's exclude the present, like us, no, this is not about us, okay? But the people that are now saying, okay, I'm not liking this, maybe, you know, active players still actively engage with the content and the franchise, the IP, whatever. Even if today they're saying, I'm probably not going to use this marketplace again, I'm not liking where this is going. Lady Drama, your dad was right. even if today they're saying this, I don't know if in the future they are not going to be looking for, you know, that kit. Even Maxis made the ones that are already out, you know, not things that are going to be made in the future, but the ones that are already out. I highly doubt that these people will not eventually go back to at least getting, you know, one less kit. But that's the kit that I really wanted. That was the storybook kit for all my nurseries, and it has all the items that I really like. If I only had that kit, and that kit at the end of the day is just $4.99. I hope that if these people fall into that craving for a kit, I mean, lucky them, because my cravings are more like, you know, chocolate. But some people are craving for a kit purchase, honey. Well, I hope that if they do, well, in that case, they decide to do it not from the marketplace, please, not from there. You know, you can still get them, I think, on Steam, right, you guys? I think in there you can still purchase normally. Platforms that sell them with discounts, like PC Keys or equivalent, Instant Gaming or equivalent, like, but just not in mullahs. Do not buy the mullahs. we need a mullah soundbite, you guys. I don't have it. But I hope, I'm manifesting for everyone else that will get the little itch, the little craving for those kids or equivalent content that you will need mullahs to go and buy, to please do not get those mullahs, but instead, if you really have to, go and get it somewhere else. That is my final plea to the community. Exactly. Let's not give the marketplace reviews our clicks and ad revenue. Yeah, because also I saw that there are like some legit reviews, not like that little tour that we did just for the lols. Like, people are actually reviewing it in a way that is more serious. Sorry, there was a lastly, but lastly is 15. So I think we're missing something that was in the middle here. Yeah. Okay, but the last question was, lastly, what is the one thing we could change? And as their last final word, as they were being dumped, they asked, what is the one thing we could change that would most improve your marketplace experience? In less than 500 characters. Let them know. I wish, just for a second, that I could see the amount of people that just replied, delete it. Delete all of it. Yes, exactly. That could improve the experience. You know what could improve the experience? If they placed, I mean, also not that people would care that much, to be honest, but they could put like next to the name of the maker how much that maker has made so far in freaking commissions out of people's mullahs. But they wouldn't do it, and they wouldn't do it because it would be very little, I think. But yeah, just delete it. It's not working. Just, seize the correct timing, refund those mullahs, and let's forget it ever happened. Even because I read, maybe I was wrong, but I read that they've already shut down. Didn't somebody come up with actually a way? So I read that somebody came up with a way to not see the marketplace, right? Like a mod, and one kind of to crack it, or maybe they didn't manage to do that one. But I know I read that EA had to, I think the cracked one probably shut down already. I mean, it's the minimum. This should have happened like the moment it went live. This should have happened. This should have come from the maker. No, can you imagine the makers like ending up in court because they did this? I would see that happening. But if I were there, I would be like giving it away. Clearly they can't. But this, yes, should have happened instantly. What do you mean? In this economy, we're not putting it for free. And yes, with apologies and thoughts for the creators, but these things are just bound to happen. Yeah, and also, guys, well, thank you. I'm just like skimming through your messages here. I don't think, my The Sims 4 library has a lot of stuff, and I also have kits. When I talk about these like experiences of being a player and feeling that craving, feeling that itch, I know that like I try making it like sarcastic but that is the truth. I've also experienced it. I'm not above any of it. And yeah, there are some days that I think about all the content that I do have in my library for The Sims 4 that I have spent money on. It's unfair, but it's my decision, obviously, not to play it. That's true. I could freely choose to do so. But, owning it or having purchased, I don't think there's anything wrong. I do open a different door when it comes to, like, I do believe that there's a difference between people who are talking about this to a platform on their channel, for example, on the internet, like giving their opinions in that sense and deciding how and what to showcase and advertise, as opposite to us, our desktops, our regular day-to-day. I completely understand the feeling of wanting to go back to the game. I completely understand why we all collectively got duped into this, into spending money of this. And I also think that there probably are many people who did purchase already on the marketplace, and then they eventually will realize that that was BS. I know we sometimes we're very critical, and we have our opinions about also the community, not just EA's behavior, but the community too. But it's always clear to me that yes, the individual can be put in the position where they need to make certain choices, and they make choices that we do not agree with. For example, going and buy the pimple patches on the marketplace, right? But ultimately, they need to make this choice because they were put in that position, and they didn't put themselves in it, but it was based on the decisions that, in this case, EA made, right? So I think the most important thing is that we are able to have conversations around this and exchange opinions based on what we're actually witnessing and based on the facts of the matter. But I really think that there is, I feel that it makes us united, the fact that we all went through that journey, because our opinions are not totally uninformed and random and based on how we're feeling today because it's Thursday, the 2nd of April, you know? But it's actually because we've all in different ways and experienced it in all we all have different kinds of experiences with it, but we're all here today, fed up, recognizing where this is going and needing to have a conversation about it. Because in my opinion, in our space, in our community as Sims players, or even the wider, life sim or whatever, uh this is a community. People are always like, it's so toxic, it's toxic. Yes, there's a lot of cult like mentality and all of that. That's true. But I also find it to be a very soft and forgiving type of community, because we are here today also because of that. So us having and exchanging our experiences and conversations is also one of the reasons why I enjoy unpacking these topics here together. But I never, and I hope that you know, that I never expect any of us, me included, to finish these streams where we saw, the shenanigans that The Sims 4 has been up to. I never hope that any of us, gets out from the stream thinking about, our personal regrets on our past choices and purchases. We gave it a try. We are the side that tried it. We gave it a try. We tried being positive. We tried being confident that things would change. We tried, we tried all the possible ways. And also our opinions are being built as we go, because the history of the Sims franchise, including these late chapters that have been tough, but it's being written. It's still evolving. So maybe in a couple of months we'll be here discussing some other takes, some other view. We cannot predict that. But really, I appreciate that we are building a place, the drama house, where we get to be able to, express and share and talk and unpack, but with the awareness that in many of these positions, in many of these choices, we've already been there and we've already made them and we've reached certain conclusions, and we're here today because of that. We tried. It's informed opinions. We did give it a try, honey. Why is today giving such Wednesday vibes? I don't know. I'm like truly waiting for tomorrow, for Friday. So to me, it's eagerly a Thursday. Oh my god, I just saw the cursed Katy Perry Sweet Treats. That was a whole, like, that entire era was such a such a very specific vibe, yet kind of feels like a fever dream. Might have to do a deep dive on that later, you guys. And also, the truth is that, honey, you during the live streams, you always give me the best ideas. And I don't know if you remember, but I think it was last week, right? Uh, we had a little conversation during the stream where we mentioned and we had a little chat about the whole conversation around, Hogwarts Legacy. And I really enjoyed that conversation opened up, because, as one does, I did a little research, honey. So I'm happy. that will be I'll be leaving the stream today, giving you this little preview for the weekend. Thoughts and prayers that everything goes fine, because this is a big one. I'm trying my best with this for you guys. But yeah, I'm working on a little deep dive of that whole boycott conversation and debacle. I'm aiming for Sunday. So most likely tomorrow I might upload maybe a clip of this stream, and then have the weekend for that whole deep dive. I know Sunday is Easter, so many or a few or like some of you will be celebrating and busy, but once you're done eating, opening your chocolate eggs, then you have a good deep dive before going to sleep. So I'm really aiming for Sunday. I also think there's something kind of ironic making that video on Easter Sunday. But I'll obviously keep you posted on Discord, and I hope that once that is out, you guys will enjoy it and you will let me know what you think. Also, because it's kind of it's not really in my roster of things. So it was something that I went on research, but it all started when you were talking about it in here, and that to me is priceless, because I probably would have never even opened up anything about Hogwarts Legacy, since it's not something that I engage with directly. But I was happy to research, and even happier to work on the upcoming video. So it's definitely going to be a robust deep dive. I hope you'll be ready for it. Yes, same. Same. Chocolate eggs, forget about it. What do you mean? What are these prices? It's crazy. But we will be talking from here to Easter Sunday. We'll talk. I hope you'll join the Discord if you haven't yet, so we can also keep in touch in there. And now, last but not least, wait, let me just remove the whole Sims community thing. But I want to see the results of our poll, honey. Okay. So, thank you so much to the 27 of you that voted live. Really appreciate you for sharing your feedback. So it seems that, thank God, the majority. No, actually, the question was, as your no, thank God, my ass. Hold on, because my question was, has your EA app been working fine? And the majority said no. Oops. I thought that the results were pro player, but no. So 45% said that no, the EA app has not been working fine, honey. And for the 33%, it has been working fine. So bless you guys. Bless you guys. For you, it's going well. And let's hope it maintains that way. And yes, shout out to the 22% that deleted the app.
Slay! Slay!
Absolutely. Congrats to you, legends, for deleting the app, not seeing this blue intrusive icon on your desktop. I love it for you. And you guys, thank you so much for another super fun stream. We had a lot to say. I think we will continue having a lot to say. But if for the next stream you want to chill a little more and maybe feel those early 2000 vibes, on Monday we will continue to play the herbs, honey. Yes. We have not too long to unlock, so I hope you'll be there. And if not, maybe Thursday we'll be live again with our talks. So don't miss it. But for today, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. I hope I'll see you on Discord, in the comment section in the future. Your support means everything to me, and I'm sending you good vibes and hugs. And don't forget, do not buy those mullahs. And let's keep not engaging financially. We can vote. We can vote with our wallets, honey. So let's keep doing it. Thank you so much, divas, legends. Mwah. This was the Drama House Live. We talked, we dished, and it's over now. Thank you guys. Hope I'll see you soon. Bye, 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 bye.